Welcome back, folks. Whims the creator. We're in red for Scooby Doo. I'm J3. We're here with Gadget
I'm here.
and Blank.
Hey, hey.
And let's talk about a Velma. Driving blind. Place on stage from hand, draw two, pitch one, and experience pay one, pitch the glasses event that we talked about earlier, uh, which we can talk about again later if need be for a refresher. But when this card attacks, if a railroad crossing is in your climax area and your level has a green, a red, and a blue, you may pay the cost. If you do, put the top 9 cards you deck in your waiting room. Deal 1 damage to your opponent X times, where X is the number of climaxes among those cards.
This card's gone through a ton of redesigns, and I finally kind of landed on this. I think it's Shinano in Azure Lane is experience 6, ditch 2, mill 8, and then burn them for X. This has
Shinano's
a
9
different.
also.
It's also 9, okay. So Shinano has a similar experience condition to this, where instead of. No, I'm sorry. Shinano's experience 8, right?
No, Shinano should be 6. They put all the the priority ships that you have to grind out a bunch of experience in the game for to even get as the experience 8 cards, which I thought was actually pretty flavorful.
Oh,
okay. So in any case, this is kind of similar to that. The whole driving blind thing comes from this being an Asana combo. It's a combo that wants to just kind of destroy your own deck at the upside of destroying your opponent's deck as well and killing them, hopefully. In this scene, Velma loses her glasses while driving a Dodgem car through the theme park, and there's a train coming, and they end up crossing the railroad right at the last second. So it's that kind of similar idea where you're destroying your own deck state. You're playing it really risky, with the payoff, with the cost being instead of ditching 2 characters, it's paying 1 and discarding specifically the glasses event here as cost, which is why it's a ditch 2 draw on play instead of a heal. It can help you get into extra copies of your glasses if you end up needing them. Okay. Have you played Shinano, Blank? I don't remember.
I got a full playset of Azure Lane. I've played just about everything except the freaking Neg Soul from the Royal Navy TD. Because that card's fucking dog ass. It doesn't early play at all. Yep. And costs stock to even do the Neg Soul.
The Navy TD is sus. That was the only Azure Lane cards I did not end up buying were those yellow Navy TD cards.
Shinano is really good as long as you're playing clean. And you've taken Twin Drive out of the set or whatever, but I'm sure there's plenty of ways to pay out your stock. We have free fresh counter and all this other stuff. Shinano's really good, and when I saw you put Shinano combo for an actually reasonable cost to triple, I was actually concerned, because the whole thing about Shinano is that tripling is almost impossible, because she's on play heal at Encore step.
It can still be difficult. So effectively, this is a 9 stock combo. It costs 6 stock to play these. No, 7 stock. 6 stock to play 3 of these, and then the 1 floating for the combos, right? And you have to have 3 copies of the glasses, right? But if you're playing the Shaggy glasses we saw earlier, that card on stage or in hand can fulfill one of the copies because it can grab the glasses from your waiting room.
Yeah,
you're right. This is fairly easy to triple. It does suffer from the same problem that Shinano does, where if you do end up tripling it, you end up taking a refresh point typically because you're going to be going through your own deck that quickly. And unlike Shinano, which heals during Encore step, this does nothing. So you really have to make sure you can kill your opponent with this.
Well, yeah, but the fact that it can triple so easily is more insurance that your opponent is going to die. In terms of actual cost, I think it's fine. It's just more of a question of should this be the cost versus is the cost actually fine?
Yeah. The other thing too is like I said, you can use the Shaggy to get 1 copy of your glasses, but somehow between finding 3 of this over the course of the game and playing the 3 from your hand, you gotta figure out how to get 2 copies of those glasses. So you're either going to be holding them all game, or you're going to be trying to dig for them at the last second. Think of it this way. This is kind of the similar idea with the Escanor, right? Where in order to kill your opponent with Escanor, you gotta spend the game getting the Escanor and the Escanor Ricky to go with him, right? This is the same idea, except you are also you're trying to get an event and hold that, which is a lot harder to get in general than just getting copies of the Escanor. Or I think it balances it out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or the turn before you finish your turn, you do your combo.
I guess it's also true. You could just do that, yeah.
Which like I think it's the combination, right? Like if this thing didn't have so many ways to grab these glasses, you don't even need the Shaggy really. Like if you're playing this like Sachin cooking style thing where it's just like, oh, I slammed down 3 of this, I played my door. I assume it's on door
Yep.
because you've
Yeah.
seen to be lining up the triggers
Yep.
for all the characters. And then it was like, oh, well, now I just have my finisher. And even if like somehow, like some mystical way, you have a million in stock or whatever, if you have 2 in stock, right? You play down 3, you play a Shaggy down. If you have the 1 stock overhead to do it, you've paid out all your things now. You pay 1, you grab the glasses, now you triple again anyway. You know the new Shauna finisher that's coming in Dengeki? It's on attack, discard 2, burn 4. If that cancels, you shuffle cards back in your opponent's deck. Like that effect seems really good, right? They on purpose, at least I would like to believe on purpose, specifically gave it heal and not like a refund cards in hand effect, so it would be more difficult. You have to put more investment in to actually triple that kind of effect.
Yeah, I got you. You
So
could give this the Encore Step heal, just like Shinano has, but
it's weird because like I think the actual cost on it is perfectly reasonable. It's just one of those things of like, should it exist versus
yeah,
it actually being balanced on paper, because
yeah,
on
I
paper
definitely
it's
agree with you.
balanced.
This card is like a card that I've tried to make fair, and I've gone and reworked it a couple times. Initially, it didn't have the color experience; it had a different experience requirement, but it only milled top 8, I think, or top 7. And then I had to once I had Shinano to work off of, I was like, okay, I can buff this to 9 if I change the experience to make it more restrictive. But yeah, the idea is this is definitely a card that you would play too if this was real. And I think I explained the flavor pretty well.
JB, what's your opinion on this, like strength wise? Because I don't want to be just like the, oh, this is too strong, grr.
So like you want to play an 8 door deck, but you need 3 colors, and I don't know
Yep.
how. Like you know, we've got cards with Velma on them that are in green. We've got the obvious support in green. So you can make it some arguments for some Fred and Scoobies that work out to fill this out, so that maybe this is doable. If this set doesn't have level swap, does it have any kind of like level swap effect?
It does have level swap.
Okay, like good level swap. Or just-
Arguably,
okay. Well, and it's coming up, so we'll see it one way or the other.
yes.
I feel like that there are better finisher things to do in this set than go for this. So I think as a for playing Velma and it being glasses fixated, very flavorful. The fact that the experience condition requires you to explicitly not play Velma waifu is kind of a dig against it, like a serious dig against it in my opinion, because it kind of means that everyone else can play waifu and Velma just can't.
You can, but you're playing those bunk ass green cards you saw earlier. You're playing 4 of an Anniversary say and probably 2 copies of a bunk level assist just to make this work.
And then your 4 of a non-waifu card is a blue card.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
the Ricky in this set.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Oh wait,
When
do you have a?
when you
Is your Ricky color setting?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean? You mean like Aqua? No, hell no, fuck no, absolutely not.
Like Makima.
Or like Cheshire or whatever her name is. It's not Cheshire. It's
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I keep getting them mixed up.
It's Cleveland.
At least we're not.
But anyway,
controlled.
the thing is that in this deck, red's not a problem because your red's your main color anyway. Your blue comes from your president early play, so you're gonna be trying to get that in your level anyway. And your green can come from any of your support cards. You're gonna play 4 of the runner. If you're playing the runner, you can play the top check X. You're gonna play the stock swap.
I was about to say the stock swap's in green. Like
The stock swap also requires experience, so you're gonna want to play to that anyway to make sure it can get the encore effect.
Yeah, outside of waifu,
like
this
this-
is fine.
Yeah,
Outside of
this isn't
waifu,
hard to do. It's just
this card is because Shinano is like, if you can full deck Shinano, you're doing Jotaro levels of burn, but you actually
Yeah.
get 3 attacks, and potentially even more than like the Jotaro finisher that has to be alone and discard all these specific cards and da 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 da. It's like
Yeah.
this is a lot.
So like,
And I think another thing with
so-
this draw to ditch one, like any climaxes you have in your hand, you can now also then discard. So when you refresh, they're back in your deck for you to do your next Velma.
oh,
I
you're
didn't even
right.
think of that.
Yeah, you're
So it's like
right.
if you play this super clean, you're gonna have like 7 in there very easily.
Maybe
And
this should just be a top check 3 on play then.
Maybe not even a top check, because that also gets you the same kind of a similar issue, except now it's not doing like you're not dropping hand, but now you're really able to grab like specifically the card you need. No, I think you're right on making it the Shinano heal. I was gonna suggest earlier like make it draw to ditch to stock, but you're right about stocking or pitching climaxes, so that's kind of I might be taking it too far. I feel like the card as it is something that you would see it in a Bushi set is the thing. Like I feel like
I,
this is a Bushi card. It's just is it a Bushi card that gets people to mauled enough?
yeah, like
I mean,
it's
you could
weird,
also argue
right?
this could be like a 2026 card that I made in 2023. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this could like design space could go to this point, and we've already seen cards like in Love Live and stuff, or Resident Million Live that have this like, if you have all 3 colors, do in some insane effect. You know?
I mean,
yeah.
just
I mean the 3 colors.
Mario.
Yeah, we have Benimaru and
Yeah,
Subaru
that
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this card is like, I don't think it's Gura, but
Yeah,
it's also like,
there are
I think this
implications
is
for that,
really easy to do this combo. And you said there are better finishers than this, and I'm a little
Well,
concerned.
I honestly just also have a seriously lower opinion of Shinano than you seem to. So that's probably the balancing factor is you have a different evaluation. So you may not agree that there are better finishers at all.
Oh no, bro, trust me, I've whiffed so many Shinanos, I stopped playing that card a long time ago.
Okay.
But part of it is because the cost is so like
Yeah.
heavy that I could
Yeah,
never
really.
triple it so I could hit a bunch of climaxes, and then this one is just gonna be like stupid easy. Whenever I triple Shinano'd, it felt great.
You know, the other thing I should check. There's another card that we haven't even talked about yet.
It's also like Azure Lane doesn't have stock swap. This set has stock swap.
Oh yeah.
Right. So this Kirito and Asuna,
Oh yeah.
A3 ditch 2 on attack. If its damage is cancelled, they'll top 11, then burn 2 X times, or X is the number of climaxes you.
Yeah,
Obviously
like
not
that.
the exact same thing. Like it's reliant on your opponent canceling.
Yeah,
It's
and you have to
also,
pay cost up front.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just that I know we're talking a lot about Shinano because that's the card that I brought up, but really Kirito and Asuna has done this for years. This is just again another cheaper version of that. But
Well, the cancel versus on attack is super different.
Relevant.
even Alicization Asuna was top 11, wasn't she?
Something
Yeah,
like
but it
that.
was still pay to ditch one.
A2 ditch 2, and you have to have the Uki in memory as well.
Oh wow.
So again, you're probably only doubling that.
At best. Like if your game's going well, you're doubling it.
So yeah, you might be right.
I don't know. Like the card's really good. If I didn't have any character bias, I would probably be on this. But I want to play bag, so
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you.
big.
All right.
I've definitely played this one a lot, and it doesn't feel that strong, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We got the glasses here. We've already been over this. It's a Mill 2 cigarettes event, in case you didn't see what we were talking about in green. Cards part of your advantage engine goes to your level 1 combo. We'll see that in a little bit, so we'll talk about it more when we get to that.
Let's see.
This card. This is Daphne presenting the evidence. She combos with the Mask of Zen-12, as we saw earlier. That card lets you potentially early play the Zen-12 Ghost. If it's in your clock and you're crazy enough to play the standby with the monster deck, during your climax phase, when this card is placed on stage by the effect of Mask of Zen-12, you can pay 1 and sack Mask of Zen-12 to stand this, and then choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, turn them to their deck, and then they shuffle. Then on attack, you can reveal top. If it's a miscreant character, you can deal 1 to your opponent. Before anyone goes crazy, this is literally I think it's Chisato from the Bang Dream Anniversary set. Exact same profile. I wanted something that was a already existing standby profile because I didn't want to have to try to balance it. And I think the on attack, I'd prefer to have the on attack reveal top burn, like coin flip burn. I prefer to have that than have the level 1500 that you see on some other standby finishers because it scales better into level 3. This is technically a level 2 standby combo that scales into level 3, unlike something like Nino or Marceline, which is just a straight level 3 combo.
True.
I like these. These are the kind of standby profiles I like to play typically. But there's not really any flavor on it other than it's just Daphne presenting the mask to the inspector at the end of the episode where they're in Chinatown.
You said that there's an event package in Standby specifically, right?
There sure is.
So what if this was 10k on attack reveal if it's character or event?
I don't know. They probably would be fine.
I think that would be the one change that I would make. Just so that, you know, if you're saying that the event combo setup is what, like, a thing you really want it to do, you know, a little bit more support for that. Other than that,
There are ways that you can also set the top card of your deck. And by set, I mean, like confirm what it is.
If you just wanted to leave this to the standby stuff, you could do a mystery in character or the specific like standby specific event.
oh yeah,
And then I don't even think you lose power doing that.
yeah, you don't. So if you
No, you
just
don't.
want to add the name of the event,
Yeah, maybe. It's something to
I think-
consider for sure. It's actually on flavor for it to be able to trade off the standby event, so quote unquote standby event. It's not really a true standby support event, but it is an event that is good in standby, is how I would characterize it.
it's a Daphne coded event.
It's technically Velma coded, but yes, it works in.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, cool.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Right. I wish there was more to say about this. I've barely tested this at all, and I haven't played Pastel Palettes yet in Bang Dream.
Gotcha.
This
okay.
card's probably fine. The Pastel Palettes deck, I think, has only seen 1 or 2 tops, and that was even last year's Springfest cycle. So, I don't think it's that OP. I think it's just kind of fine.
It's hard to be a standby deck with Miron running around, so.
Yeah, especially not
And
a standby deck that
Overrush.
doesn't give Global 15. Anyway,
It's Velma time.
It's Velma
Blank.
time. I keep forgetting her
this-
last name is Dinkley.
Once per turn, play an event, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top or into your waiting room, and give one of your characters 500 power. And also, she is a salvage brainstorm.
so first of all, this is one of the 3 SSPs in the set, as I said before. This card could probably be a 1k or 1500 to be honest. I tried to be a little bit overspec with the 500 power thing, but now that I know that free run can just up to 3 times per turn when you play an event, top 2 rearrange or whatever the hell that does, and that card is like 1500 or whatever it is, like, I just don't understand anymore how the math works. Maybe this
What-
card's 500, maybe it's 1k, I don't know, but
It's like event restricted, basically. Because, like, the day I became a god has 2 different brainstorms that proc off events. One of them is when you play an event for the first time in a turn, you can blink one of your opponent's characters. And when you play an event for the first time in a turn, you can give a soul to one of your characters.
Oh, wow.
yo, that's
Yeah.
sick.
They're both really cool. The soul one's a search brainstorm, so I tend to lean towards the blink one just because I prefer salvage, and it's like a recurrence deck anyway. But yeah, like, you can get some pretty nutty effects if you just put the condition of like you can only do this when you play an event.
This ends up being played in a lot of decks in the set because it's like the only salvage brainstorm I think in the set. And so incidentally, it just happens to be a Velma card you can play on board, and then since you have it, now all of your Glasses events are online. So this ends up seeing more play than you might think. It's a pretty important card in the set.
B for brainstorm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it the plus because it synergizes with the Glasses, and that's kind of intentional. But
Yeah, no, the
oh, and also Velma on a brainstorm seems pretty fitting.
yeah.
Brain.
And also just like the fact that she's like can support basically any deck when it comes down to it. Like even the monsters have an event, you wouldn't want to mix them, but you know, hypothetically, if you're a Mad Lad,
Yeah,
it's out there.
true.
So yeah,
Definitely real.
the fact that she's just general support, I do think you're right about the power thing, but I don't know the exact. So let's just move on to a card with girls on it, or
Yeah.
other girls on it.
Alright, so this
Oh
is
my
Daphne and
God.
Velma Hawaiian Vacation. On attack, you can choose one of your traded characters and give it 1k. On reverse, look at 3. If there is a climax among them, you can add it to hand and then ditch a card. This is literally the Hachimakome from Hololive Set 1.
We love Hachima.
This set probably doesn't need this card. I threw it in because it's a card that helps out Daphne and Velma waifu decks, and it is a card that you can occasionally play into with sort of early game strategies that you might want to run. If you're not running green, like if you're not running the Scooby and Shaggy runner, this is probably a card you're going to play too, along with a clean cut we'll see later. There's not really much to say about it. It's just a Kome if you need to play this. Actually, you know what? There is one other notable thing about this. That is that this is one of the few cards that can pump power at level 0. The fact that it can power pump helps it scale through the mid game, which does matter for certain decks that are trying to get reverses at level 1. I think there's another Daphne level 0 that probably does that better, but this card has a better second effect.
We like Hachima.
All right.
I like
we
I like
do
Hachima, but on reverse Komeis are like weird, and I never want to play them. Basically, which is sad because Hachima's a cutie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rebuild that deck once the summer thing comes out in English.
Oh yeah, I built a draft of like Mel Hachima as like an act focus deck. Actually, I do have one thing to say, which is I should probably put more time into this card like this. There was a point where it was Spyro talking about how like on death pluses versus on play pluses. Like there's actually like a lot of situations where on death plus can feel better. The idea of like this is the last line your opponent swings into. After it dies, you grab your climax off the top of your deck, so now you can level 1 combo the next turn after you've been shot to death by your opponent on like going into turn 3.
Yeah.
I do feel like if your opponent's attacking into this last, they're misplaying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You take advantage of what you can do with that for sure. But yeah, I do like this more than I think I actually do because I never play the Hachima, and I should probably start. All right, we talked a little bit.
All right.
About this.
This is Velma Lost Glasses gains 500 power for each Mystery Inc. character in your backstage. So since it's 5/5 cross turn, and then when you play this climax where she's looking for her glasses, you can either search your deck for the glasses event or search your waiting room for the glasses events. It's literally the Miku from Quince, but it gets the glasses instead of headphone.
I know this profile from Grisaya.
That too, yeah.
Well, actually, no, the Grisaya one's
Grisaya one sits bigger.
Yeah, she can. If you have a full board, she gets the 6K because it's 500 per.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think Goblin Slayer is also 6K.
Yes, it is.
Underspec card.
I don't know. There's no, not necessarily.
Yeah, no, balanced by Bushy Math, but
yeah, you could probably make this stronger. I don't care.
It's also a Velma card. It makes sense for her to sit a bit weaker.
Yeah, I don't know. The main thing here is the glasses event is just like a card that can kind of help you run through your mid game. Like I said before, it helps it can help you scum cancels if you just mill the 2 off the top, and essentially the third card with the brainstorm after you resolve your glasses event. And with the brainstorm board, this also can be like a card that gives a character 500 power. It barely matters, but it matters a little bit. It just gives your counter just a slight buff to the character that can sometimes win you the lane.
You're right. She can sit 6K cross turn, at least the 1 copy.
Yeah, very nice.
He's nice.
You can get him. Yeah, there's not much to say about this, unfortunately. It is off a door. It just means you can hit your waiting room with your glasses, and then if you trigger the door, you can hit it again.
Yep.
So your event actually feeds into your door trigger, which is more than I can say for Roselia. Usually Roselia, you're on like a pants door or an 8 pants. This is 8 door typically, or door into something else. So you're filling up your waiting room with your event to get targets, which is good.
Man, I might have to go back and like upgrade my rating on that brainstorm, because if you play glasses, you get like a free damage scry.
Yeah.
On the opponent's next attack.
Yeah.
It's like pretty sick.
That's the idea.
That honestly kind of makes glasses and that better both together. There's probably B pluses at this point.
Damage scry goes crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
All right.
Honestly, if you consider it that way, maybe it does deserve to be the 500 power. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
We don't have to talk about this one too much, but this is
Mesmerizing Water Goddess.
It's not Water Goddess. So this is Daphne, Key to Success, and she's called Key to Success because she found a key. If you have 2 or less climaxes, it really plays. If all your characters have Mystery Inc., it gains 2k during your turn, and then it's an on-play ditch 1 heal to stock. This is not Water Goddess. This is the Xion early play from Slime Set 1. I said before, I think Water Goddess is way too freaking ubiquitous, especially in English-wise. Like, Guilty Gear has it, 7 Deadly Sins has it, there's another set that has it. But they just print it way too much, and it's just overused. I like these ones that can actually trade during your turn. They don't sit big defensively, but that's not a big deal. The most important thing to note about this is that this is the only early play healer that the set has for Mystery Inc. So if you need an early play healer, you're basically forced to play 3 to 4 copies of this, which can be a deck building concession depending on how much you want to try to force red in your build. If you're trying to play a blue or green top end, you might not be able to play more than 1 or 2 of this, and that's definitely a deck concession.
Your Neg Soul is also technically an early play that's also healing you on swing, provided you get
On
the reverse, which is
on reverse,
maybe questionable, but I don't know. I think that like it's good enough. I don't. We'll see if the blue has finishers that can heal, then maybe. But if it doesn't, then I think you're spot on then.
I mean, it's just Mesmerizing Water Goddess with a different condition. It's like the Prisma Ilia one, kind of. The Prisma Ilia one has an experience condition for power, so that's why it swings at the same power as this one, though. It's fine. It's a heal. Stock heal good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
All right, now we're gonna get to move into some more interesting cards.
Oh boy.
Okay, hold on. Daphne, tied up. Scooby, untie me, quick! Because the dog has prehensile thumbs. When this card is placed on stage from hand, reveal top card of your deck. If that card is a mystery character, choose your character in your opponent's center stage, gets minus 1k till end of turn. And she's a helmet. So,
I love Ram.
is this just a card that exists somewhere?
Almost.
So, in Marvel, there is a Hawkeye at this same power condition that is on play, reveal top. If it's a Marvel character, give one of your characters plus 2,000.
Okay, yeah, so then it is, I believe that
So it's
puts it on stack.
close.
Yeah.
You could argue that minus 1k is a little bit strong, but also there is a ton of cards that just say on play, if you have another character, give one of your opponent's characters minus 1k. Like there's a Levi in AOT that I think does that for. It's either minus 500 on play or it's minus 1k, but you have to fulfill condition.
So,
yeah. This is. Do you guys know Avatar very well? This is basically that, but this has a top check for its minus power condition, which, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. But the Aang one is just like straight up 500 power. Like the opponent's entire board loses 500 power, if I recall correctly. I think it's their whole board because it dodges hexproof from slime. Yeah. You can actually do a similar thing with this card that you can with that card, which is you can reuse this effect if you're willing to discard. Which is because you just discard one, sack this, bring this card back to hand, play it again, and just like, if you really want to kill something, the example I'm thinking of is the UA drop search they need in memory.
Yeah.
You can like fuck that deck over by doing this, like using its effect to salvage itself.
I've definitely done that in Marvel to clear lanes occasionally. There's not really any flavor here. It's just a card that I wanted to put this Daphne tied up thing because she's always finding herself in these situations where she's been kidnapped or falls into stupid shenanigans because she doesn't pay attention in Squatsy in this first couple seasons.
Because she's damsel in distress character.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, Rams are like pretty good still, and this has a decent utility effect. So I'm gonna tell
you right now, this card is a 2 of in every single Scooby Doo deck that I play, because if you do the glasses and you happen to whiff, you can always get this and then get a selective card in your next turn that you can actually play.
Yeah, that's literally the Avatar play pattern with the Toph. Oh, also, I've noticed there's not like... I don't think I've seen a drop search or a drop salvage, so this card probably has like extra benefit to it because you don't have like a too great of selection tools that I've seen so far.
I don't think there's a lot of ways to search deck unless you're playing the Shaggy and Scooby level 1. And yeah, you've got Salvage Brainstormer. There's technically a search Brainstorm in blue that we'll see. But yeah, for your selective salvage, you're basically having to play this card. You're not really hard out for stock either, though. Like, if you had a drop salvage in this set, you probably wouldn't even play it because you're more likely to have hand to do this than to have the stock to do the drop search or drop salvage.
Fair.
All right.
I do.
JB, do you want to read this one?
Maybe for a Scooby Snack. So, on play, pitch a card, grab Scooby Snacks. And then return this card to your hand on climax play to give one of your characters 2k until end of turn.
So the basis of this card was Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time. It's on play, ditch one, salvage the event, and then when it pops back to hand, you can choose one of your characters plus 1 soul. But then you look at the Happy Chaos and Guilty Gear, that card's 1k power. It has the backstage run, and then it has on climax play, bounce back, give 2,000 power. So both pop back and plus 1 soul and pop back plus 2,000 power are both 500 power.
Yeah.
Effects. I chose to do the plus 2k power in this set because it synergizes better with the standby level 1, which we'll talk about in a bit.
I think the 2k also helps like sure up the fact that your level 3 combo like isn't like a global 15 or anything either.
Yeah.
So it can help you get over some bigger stuff.
And also, your Daphne level 0 that we talked about earlier doesn't give power, it just makes the opponent lose power. This helps you scale that as well. So Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks is a vanilla camera event. It is just a Mill 4 Salvage Mystery Inc. character. This
Oh, so
combo,
this is literally Princess Bubblegum then.
yes, this combo impressed me so much in Adventure Time, I put it straight in here to see how good it was, and it's still been the backbone of my standby deck. I think it's really underutilized. The only downside for it is you have to fix for 2 colors at level 1. But if you do, you just get all the deck speed you need. Every turn you can pop this back, give 2k, and then the next turn you can play it down again and salvage your event back and just keep playing it over and over again. Also, why I don't have a lot of different deck speed cards in this, because like I know you were talking about earlier, right? There was like that Kazuma Shaggy as like a modular mill. Sometimes that matters. There's ways that you'd want to like dump specific cards into your waiting room. It's like, yeah, you could do all that, but I like doing it this way with the 1-0 event. It is deck slots, but I think it ends up being okay. And obviously, this is the Velma with Scooby Snacks, and she bonds to the Scooby Snacks event. So this is like a double plus for this for the flavor for me.
Bartering for Scooby Snacks, which was literally like the entirety of Pup Named Scooby Doo, I feel like, from what I remember.
Oh god, don't even remind. I don't hate that show, but it's so formulaic, man.
Yeah.
Needs a Scooby Snack.
Yeah. This card's cool. I like that. I like the cards where it's just
It's a
like
throwback.
I like the cards where it's like recyclable for the climax thing, but it's also like got an on-play effect that you actually are using to do relevant shit.
Yeah. You know, I just noticed that this card has glasses straight. I forgot to notice if you go back and look at some of the earlier slides, like the ones where Velma doesn't have her glasses, she doesn't have glasses straight.
Oh my god, that's why my brain. I was looking at the one like, hey, wait, she's a Velma with why is her glasses straight? It's like, god damn it, he thought of that.
No, I needed this for my glasses standard deck.
Oh, damn, sorry.
Both the combos you can't play in glasses standard.
This is bullshit, man.
Unlucky.
How unfortunate. Go fix your custom set.
My custom set is fixed. Thank you very much.
All
right. Well, what do we think of this Velma here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even rate it. This is like, I'm gonna give this that, cause like the standby synergy is like pretty good. I haven't played the camera in a standby deck thing because Adventure Time is like way too expensive for me to buy into.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Even though I freaking love that series, I had to decide between buying Mob or buying Adventure Time, and I chose incorrectly.
Oh, that's rough.
Because they came out around the same time, and then Mob was like stupid cheap, and then Adventure Time was stupid expensive.
Yeah.
And it still is. And I'm probably never gonna get to justify building it, because instead I bought Sympho Gear recently, which was not fun monetarily.
Yeah.
But like the camera, I gave like a full-on C just because it has a bonder and looks actually playable this time. Like vanilla events need to be pretty good for me to consider running, but this one having a bonder that can like do it every turn seems like pretty sick.
You could say that being off color might make it deserve the C-, but you can easily get both colors at level 1.
It's like not even that off color in a way, because like if you really need the deck speed that early, the Velma is a 0. Like you can just take another like quote unquote level 0 turn and not slam the standby that turn or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Alright.
Definitely.
When this card is placed on stage from hand, if you have 4 or more Mystery Ink traded, you can take a Mystery Ink and put it into stock. And then it is pay 2, discard 1, Icy Tail 4, and this card gets 1,000 power.
So, I don't remember where I actually got this from. I thought this was the Toka from Data Life, but it's not.
It is not.
The second effect is definitely costed correctly. Icy Tail is usually ditch 2 from hand to bottom 4. This is pay 2, ditch 1, and gain 1k, so that should be correctly statted.
I know the second effect, I think, is that the Icy Tail effect looks like Miku's Icy Tail.
It needs to be your level 3 effect, whatever it is, so...
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because the first effect is just like a normal stock kickback that you see on like 1/1s that cost a stock. So like,
But doesn't the Miku have like global 15 on it, and that's why it was running Nino for a little bit?
I mean that if it has the global 15, that's its level 3 effect, so it has one. The Daphne doesn't have one if the Icy Tail isn't your level 3 effect. So that's why I'm. If you can find that card and if it's not this cost for the ability, then that's your excuse. So that's a level 3 cost effect instead.
Dude, I don't know
Otherwise,
what any Quinset is in here.
So yeah, it is the Miku effect. The other ability is on play search a character, so that would be your level 3 effect.
yep. So we gotta get you one of those.
I could have made this an on play heal stock, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to have another off finisher that healed.
So is it? What's the Is the Miku 9/5 or 10?
Nope, it's 10k.
All right. So you get rid
on
of
plays.
Yeah, here's what you do. You change the 4 more play. For that, you make it a draw 2, ditch 2, stock 1, and then you sit at 10/5.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it's
you
true.
just
You could
change
do
the
it that
power
way.
to 10-5.
Or
Alright.
you add that on top of it. It's you add the level 3 effect, the draw 2, ditch 2, stock 1 on top of it. It's now a 3/0 that plays itself for free, or that pays for its Icy Tail effect, except for the ditch.
The other thing you could do, which is really dumb, but you could do this, is you could give it the on play ditch 2, draw 2, and stock 1, and then make it 9/5 base, and give it like if you have 4 more characters, give it 1,000 power memory kick, like the Kurumi and Data Life.
Oh.
And then it would be a powerful standby target as well as on play target. I don't know if I want the card to be that good, but like technically that would be fair under Bushi math.
You could also just make the level 3 effect the global 15, considering your finisher isn't a global 15.
Yeah, that's true too. So I could make this like an on play if you have 4, like keep the on play 4 more effects to get the socks. If you hard play it from hand, you get it incidentally. But even if you stand by it, you still have the payoff of it being the global 15 and the Icy Tail.
Yeah, and that would drop it.
95,
Yeah.
and then it would put it to 11k.
Yeah,
which would be
that's not bad.
Solid.
Notes for later. There's no flavor on this. I wanted a card where Daphne is like complaining about her looks, and this is like the closest thing.
Fair.
She is fashionable trait, so you can play her in standard with Yotsuba, I'm pretty sure. Yotsuba's fashionable, right?
I don't remember, nor do I really care.
Yep.
Miku is headphone. Nino is cooking.
It's Shiki's Ernest.
Ichika is stylish. Yeah, so it's Ichika then. Yeah.
It's got, yeah.
Wait, but is stylish and fashionable the same trait?
It's like translated differently.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the intention, was that it was the same trait as whatever Ichika had. Yeah.
Okay. So the JP translation of this card would be.
It would be stylish. Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Not like you can
It's
play
just-
this in standard anyway.
It's just a funny thing.
Unless.
It's very fun.
The set is very reminiscent of Quince, where every character gets its own climax. It's just kind of, it's like a lampshade. I'm lampshading it, Come on.
You're a lampshade.
No, you.
All right.
All right.
Okay, but what if you were a lampshade for a Scooby Snack?
I would put a lampshade on my head for a Scooby Snack. I think.
So this is
the dog collar of shame. The dog cone of shame.
He wears the
I do
cone of
not
shame.
like the cone of shame. This is the other card I was talking about earlier. On attack, you can win your character's 2k, and then it's a backstage runner. This card is a 100% a Hololive card. Remember that card I was talking about earlier? That ended up being the Sio Bomb? This is the card that I thought it was. This is, I'm pretty sure, the Pekko from the N4 trial deck.
This is also the Ishigami from Kaguya set 1, and also a card in Million Live.
So the real question is uncommon the correct rarity for this?
I can check the Kaguya one. I don't know what the card looks like in
The Hololive one was a TD card,
Yep.
so I figured it would probably be an uncommon or rare.
Well, rarity in Hololive means nothing, bro. I still can't figure out how Fauna is a rare despite being a worse combo than the common that's in set 1. Ishigami is an
Cool.
uncommon.
We did it, boys.
You did it. Card is fine. You have a lot of plusing zeros in this set though, so I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
ever see play.
Well, the thing
Although
with this card, as I mentioned
pumps
earlier, this is
power.
one of the few ways to pump power is 0. So you might play it if you need it.
You could play it in the shaggy like bar thing probably as like an auxiliary.
Yeah.
Because you need a reverse for that.
True.
All right. Next card is on reverse. Choose a card in your opponent's clock, put it into their waiting room. If you do,
Wait, what?
top card goes to clock, and then it's an on reverse level 0 bomb. This is already under spec, I know. This should probably be 1k.
Yep.
But other than that, it's Snipe Kazuma.
I was about to say, like, isn't this Magic Man from Adventure Time?
You're
Magic
right.
Man.
It's so
Yeah,
weird.
he has the clock switch, and then he also has that other weird effect that's... Or is it Earl of Lemongrab that he is? I don't remember. He does something stupid.
I only really know this effect from Boomy, so
There it
it's
is.
weird seeing it on a red for me. But
Snipe Cosmo's a yellow. This card's a red. Magic Man's
it's
a
a yellow.
blue, and Boomy is a green. We have the
green, yeah.
we have the quad
Yeah.
color.
Effective. Yeah, Snipe Cosmo's a yellow stock bomb, so this should probably be 500 power bigger. I just think it's so hilarious. Like, they're running through this fucking haunted house from these green ghosts, and a phone rings, and Velma just picks it up, and it's like, hello? And the ghost was up behind her, and she's just like, it's for you. And then he picks up the phone, and she runs away. So it's blatantly just another funny card for a potentially techie effect that you might need. You probably don't, but if you do, you need it. There it is.
Yep.
I don't think I'd ever run this card for the first effect, and it's not a zone bomb, so...
Yep.
Rip.
Unfortunately, this card had to go in red because of how the ratios worked out.
Get
Alright.
ratioed.
Yeah.
Yo ho ho, blow the man down. All right.
How about yum 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 and a liverwurst a la mode? That's what Shaggy says.
Shaggy, that can't be possible.
Dude, the fact that you know the lines based on other lines is like... Are you sure you're caught up on your anime watch list and not just continuously watching Scooby Doo over and over and over again?
I'm 100% continuously watching Scooby Doo over and over again.
Okay, well...
I feel like...
I need to watch.
It's nostalgic.
I feel like I've seen this. Okay. So, when your trigger checker goes to climax... Digiclimax. Look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a card from among them, put in your hand, put the rest in your waiting room. Interesting to see on a red card, but... you know. And then rest for experience of the tilt. If you have experience 2 or higher, rest this to choose one of your mystery trick characters, and that character gets 2,000 power till end of turn.
This is the Choco from Hololive Gen 2.
Also weird that she's on. Like, it kind of makes, because, like, you know, that's a deck that's playing blue, yellow, red, so hypothetically you can slide her into, like, the Shion Aqua. It's like a back row for that, but...
So,
this
here's the story. But...
weird.
Oh,
It's just weird, like, the experience on this is 2 or higher, and then the other, like, the top end is the multicolor experience instead, and then...
But consider this, though. This effect, this card has a climax filter effect on it, and you don't exactly need that in a door deck, do you?
No, but that's why I'm like, why is this on Velma?
I will tell you why it's in red. Originally, I tested the set again for like months, and originally this card was Cowgirl.
Oh, right.
And this set was way too powerful with Cowgirl in it, so I had to rework it. Will actually recommended this card for me because he knew about it from Hololive. He was playing some either 8-bar, 8-pan strategy. Having double filter meant you could just ditch your climaxes and hand filter whenever you needed to, so this kind of fits that same bill where it's a card that you can ditch your climaxes when you trigger climaxes. I think this is kind of similar to like Nick Fury and Marvel, where like when you trigger a pants, you can discard a climax to look at top 2 at a card. The experience thing is kind of incidental because you're right, it doesn't really fit the same flavor as Velma, but this isn't really meant for the 8-door deck. This is meant for the 8-bar or 8-pants strategy you might run with Fred. And it is incidentally a red card which along with your Brainstorm helps you color fix for your Glasses event and your Daphne early play, which are other cards that you're going to have a hard time fixing for just because of space. So that's kind of why it is the way that it is.
You have sold me.
I mean, the card seems fine. I don't like the check 2 ones very much, but other than that, it's like perfectly reasonable, I think.
I mean, you have to remember too, this is a 2-year-old card. This probably would have a different first effect if it was printed this year. Because they just go crazy with these when climax triggered effects. A perfect example, moving into the next card, right? This is just a 2K backup. But did you know that in Bochi the Rock they printed this profile at plus 1500 power, with the cost being you put it at the bottom of your deck instead of putting it from hand to waiting room. Like if this card was printed today, you could literally give it that effect and it would be completely fine.
It would be worse.
I was about to say, that's worse though. I don't want to decompress myself.
It depends on how badly you need the extra 500 power.
Nope, don't care.
In standby, I think it's better.
I don't know. I think there's something
Hey,
fishy
guess
about
what
that
set
logic.
doesn't have standby? Bochi the Rock.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
That's a lie. Bochi doesn't stand by.
No, because they didn't print any cards for that character, right? You know, they have to go back for set 2 so that character actually gets cards printed for her.
Huh?
It's a meme, Mike. Just run with it.
It's Bochi.
Oh. Sorry, do I not pay attention to Bochi enough?
You
No,
do
no.
not.
What do you mean? There are 0 cards named Bochi because that's not her actual name.
Okay, also that, to be fair, but...
I think it's so funny that that one Brainstorm lets you salvage any character with Goto in name, so you can grab the one card her sister has with it too.
Yeah.
Very silly.
Alright. This card gets 500 power for each of your other Mystery Ink trait characters, and then on attack, if you have 2 or more other Mystery Ink trait characters, you get to top 2. Choose a card from among them, put it on top of your deck, and put it into your waiting room. This is
one of the cards you were like, Twin Drive, no good, so we're gonna do check 2 rearrange.
This card has actually always been top 2 rearrange, or top 2 choose trigger. I've had this card, I printed this card as a 5k vanilla in the first round of the set, and I thought about cutting it immediately because this card is insane in standby. This is like the auxiliary level 1 in the standby deck. I put it in here because you don't usually see Bushiroad print these kind of choose your trigger effects with standby. And I wanted to see just how powerful it was, and turns out very powerful is the answer.
Gadget, do you remember Nino?
I was about to say, like, there's so many choose your trigger effects in standby. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, remember this was 2022. This was before the Nino level 1 came out.
Did set 1 coincidentally just not have them?
Well, it's also freaking super old ass Symphogear has a 1/1 with choose your trigger on it.
Yeah, but that wasn't in English. You have to realize this is
Who
English
cares?
twice that
Well,
I do.
we don't have JP experience because our locals didn't really do that much with JP. We've got
it was not like standby Symphogear was a thing for a little bit from what I understand, but the main point is like these things have existed. This is fine. Also right now English is more high powered than JP is, so it doesn't like whether you have JP experience or not. Like I don't think we're losing our minds here considering we had Mio drop search, which is more powerful than this choose your trigger effect.
In the context of 2022 Weiss, this was probably a little bit crazier than I was afraid. I mean, the other thing too is this is literally a Bang Dream card. Again, I think this is exactly the same as a Yukino 1-0 and Rosalia. I think it's Bang Dream Volume 2. I think it has it in. Even then, like, I don't know. I think that card you needed the Tears Overflowing Yukina in your memory to get the condition. This is just 2 or more other. Even then, it's not a big deal.
I mean, even then, it's like twin drivers have always been around too, and this is basically that.
Yeah.
You just get a little more control over what's going in your stock.
It could be worse. This could just be the Yang from the new Ruby set that's just a 4500 with twin drive and does nothing else.
Dude, I am so fucking pissed. Like, I want to buy into Ruby. I wanted to, and they keep making anybody that's not the worst character in the main 4 bad. Like, if your name is Ruby, you get a good card. If your name is anybody else in the main 4, you might get one okay card.
And that's not even true for the premium booster. They all got complete garbage cards.
Weiss got like an okay thing, but like,
No, you're right. Weiss did, but Blake and
it's
Yang
like,
got completely shafted.
God bless
Yep.
America. Grr,
Anyway,
angry.
very, very fun card coming up here.
Behold, the net.
Alright, this is Danger Prone Daphne. With 2 or more other Mystery Inc. characters, it gets 1500 power and Hand on Core. And then, when its battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have her standby in the climax area, you get to salvage a character.
Seems fine.
This is the Captain Marvel level 1 from Marvel. I play the combo a lot, and I thought it was so cool that your 1/1 standby target also incidentally was your level 1 combo.
You were like, it's insane
What is-
design space for your 1/1 to be your combo, and I'm just like,
Yes, and then
sure,
and so
but
like
this is not Eris, so I think we're okay.
no, it's not. But like the other thing is that this enables you to play other auxiliary level 1s. It enables you to play like the Shimakaze in blue, or you like your top check choose your trigger that we saw just earlier, and not have to worry about deck slots for it. And Avatar, right? If you were playing regular standby, you had to play your Zuko standby target and your Zuko twin driver. Both those cards take up slots, but in this case, you've got your combo on your level 1, and it takes up less slots.
Well,
The
I mean,
reason she's
they didn't have a level 1 standby anyway. Not a combo.
yeah, I guess. But the thing is, the twin drivers needed the climax in the climax area to get their twin drive effect.
Yep.
So all the Daphne cards are like really danger prone, and her doing silly things. This is like the ultimate version of that, where like have this trap set for the caveman, and like they just get caught in their own net because Daphne falls off this railing for being an idiot. So
For being an idiot.
she's literally like, I think I hear them coming, and Velma's like, Daphne, don't lean over so far. And then Daphne falls, Velma tries to grab her, and then Fred tries to grab Velma. They all fall together, and then the net lands on top of them. So stupid.
So, as the guy who has gone insane over playing Ayame in 8 standby because I just love the existence of that profile, you did manage to condense like the one issue that I had, which was I like playing Polka, but I also like playing Ayame. And then you have this card, which is Por qué no los dos? So, I guess I'm building Daphne. All right.
I think the card is fine. Like, it's a plussing thing. You're probably getting run over by most level 1 combos because all of the level 1 combos in the world hit 7/5 now.
And
But-
then you use the hand on.
And then you use that salvage you did to hand on core, so you still have a 1/1 piece of shit on the board.
Exactly, because then you get to do it again.
Yeah, good luck with that, brother.
I don't.
Oh,
play
I do
standby like a
think
normal human.
I do think that the green brainstorm that gave the soul to the center is like really good in standby for getting standbys in hand and keeping up soul pressure.
Oh God, you're.
If we take that card as printed, which we still should not, yeah, that's that card be nuts in standby.
Yeah. All right. Another fun card here.
Back to Velma.
This is another meme. This is just like Velma telling the guy to say, you stop that. It's Amelia counter. You pay 2, sack character on stage, choose one of your opponent's characters level higher than their level, and you send it to their waiting room.
But this is not Amelia counter, but
It's close enough. You get the idea. It's
there's
sack character
no
on stage.
anti-change.
Isn't Amelia any change though?
Amelia is
Amelia's,
anti-change.
but it's bottom deck, isn't it?
Not only is it bottom deck, its cost is spread out way more than this card, which is why Amelia anti-change is the most sought after anti-change.
The only other set that I know that has that profile is Avatar.
They've printed it more recently. Slime got an even cheaper one, but you have to have experience. Ayakashi has Amelia anti-change as well. And then I know 1 or 2 other sets recently got it. They're printing it more and more, which I think is like pretty nice.
Yeah, this is basically just like Hollow Set 2 Louis. I'm pretty sure it's like the exact same.
This is literally Louis, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
Which means it's on spec.
I mean, it's like,
I think
it's still good. Sack has
Yeah.
uses.
I think the Venom counter also in Marvel also has the same cost as this, but Venom's blue.
A lot of these have this cost. It's weird because some anti-changes require you to sack a character, and then some don't. It's just like a total of pay 3, which is interesting.
I like that this is kind of like a meme quote for me. I really like that she's like, you stop that. Like that. Your opponent's trying to roleplay you, and you stop that, and you send it to their waiting room. I'm giving us a plus for flavor plus. Alright. Now this card.
Oh no! Danger-prone Daphne turned on the power saw. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I-
the Neapolitan.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about this a little bit. I saw you did the check for the level assist in the other video, right?
Oh.
This is non-traded 2K assist. Can you remind me how much power this is worth?
Well, because it's a level 3 assist, it's like 1500. Yeah, it's like 1500.
Are you sure it's only 15?
Yeah, level assist is. Because it's not
No,
2K to
it's
anything.
not level. This is not level. Okay, yeah.
It's level 3 assist, yes, which makes it 15. If it was 2K in front to anything, it'd cost 6K. Because this is just level 3 or higher, it's 1500.
What card was I molding over again? It
No
was
idea.
Princess Bubblegum, right? Oh yeah, all characters gain 2K.
Yeah.
So it should be all characters gain 2K. I can fix that. The other ability I think
needs to be updated because you're in an experience set. Do you know what other set has experience? JoJo's. The JoJo's version of this says if you have experience. Actually, no, I'm messing this up because you get to summon 2 off of this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check from your opponent's looking at this stage. This is Neapolitan. I'm trying to remember how much it's budgeted at. I think it's budgeted at 1K for Neapolitan.
I don't know how much this one is budgeted at, but the one in Stone Ocean gets to do summon 1 character for free if you have experience 6, and then pay 1 summons a copy of the finisher from Waiting Room while also still being a 2K assist. And it's 4K like yours is.
Interesting. I don't know if I need it to summon the finisher from Waiting Room, but it would be good.
Well, I'm just saying for like power reasons.
No, yeah, right. But like when I designed this card, Devin told me to put it in the set because he realized that both the Fred and the Scooby finisher need a reverse, and if your opponent empty boards you, you have no win con.
Yeah, and the
So this is in here to help you guarantee that.
Holy shit. But yeah, there's like you have like 3 separate finishers that would want to actually be running this, and they're all like double R pluses. So.
What other finisher needs this? Is it the Shaggy and Scooby?
Yeah, that's a rare. You're right. Never mind. But yeah, that's still 3
Nexel.
finishers that want it.
You know if you need to play this, it's just a support card for the decks that need reverses. The set also has Grappling Hook, which I added way later. Like I added Grappling Hook in 2020. Like this year, I added Grappling Hook. So like you could choose to not play this, but it's kind of a no-brainer in standby. Or if you're trying to play 2 of the blue finishers, but there's not a lot of flavor here. Just Daphne being dumb again.
Wait, how many people does she endanger at once with the power saw?
Oh, all of them.
Okay, then yeah, that's totally flavor then.
Or 4 people and a dog for sure.
Minimum
Flavor
4
plus
people and a
from
dog.
me. What?
Alright, so this is Daphne
yeah.
protecting the mask. Like, it's like, you remember that card earlier with the zombie henchman? It's like, they go up to her and she's like, we want that mask. And she's like, it belongs to me and you can't have it. This gets you the mask climax. So pay 1 on play, salvage, and climax from Waiting Room. And then it also incidentally has climax salvage on it. This is like blank set. It's literally the sheep level 3 from the Hololive Gen 4 trial deck, completely on spec. I don't know if this is an uncommon or a rare, but I have it at uncommon for now.
It's a TD card.
Well, yeah, that's
Right,
the thing.
like-
TD cards.
Yeah.
TD cards don't know what power budgeting is, or like rarity budgeting is.
It's a TD card, but it's also one of the signed cards. Like that sometimes matters, you know.
I will say that this does make me like less inclined to play any of the top check 3s that we've seen so far.
Okay, you can just get the climax.
Yeah, you just like, nah, this is mine now.
Yeah, it belongs to me. You
Yeah.
can't have it.
If you can afford to play the extra stock, then yeah, you totally can.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna give it a plus for versatility.
Phospharum Paraphla?
Phosphorum Parafla.
Uh-huh.
Because she's a
A
nerd, you see.
A phosphorus glowing seaweed found only in the area known as the Graveyard of Ships. Where Captain Cutler's ghost went down.
Okay, cool. On play, pitch a card, check top 2 for a climax for a salvage, and on play, rest one of your. Oh no, this isn't the good level swap. This is the sad level swap. Unfortunately,
That's sad.
because you have to rest one of your other characters when you can just have another card.
I was about to say you don't have to rest a character anymore for this effect.
Yeah, you just lose more power off the top. Like the you pay like 1K or 15 depending on if you're limiting like the card you put into a traded character, or if it's both traded characters, it's theoretically like 500 power or it's
Okay.
1500 power and it's on play, and you just have a character that's small. It's on budget.
I
Yeah, I
remember
don't.
the climax swap from Don Machi, and I was like, they really just don't care anymore, huh?
They have
Or
not
like
cared for a
how
while.
sometimes they'll have Fumio rest a character, and other times they'll just have Fumio not rest a character, and I'm just like, they just don't give a shit, man.
I don't remember where I got this from, honestly, but it's just a
I
level swap because I decided that you needed level swap in certain decks. So.
Yeah,
This
Velma
might
deck.
be a Kaguya card, but I can't remember.
Velma deck would want level swap at minimum, and also any deck that where the president is like actually a game condition rather than just a cool thing you sometimes get to do.
I wouldn't actually want to play it, but I'd probably swap one of just to... Because
Yeah.
I don't... Like, Force Mill is weird. I don't generally like Force Mill.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't even play this card. I just try to play greedy and try to go for my experience every game and just hope I get there.
Sounds like a Blue Archive player. They did not get a single thing that sets their clock. It's very funny.
Oh my god, why? Alright.
So they got a level swap on their drop search, but the problem is, like, one of their double rare profiles is the Mio drop search, so you're playing like 5 drop searches in that deck.
Oh my god.
It was
Alright.
very dumb. It was very
Wild.
annoying.
Let's talk about a card that will make me feel less sad.
I don't know. This is making me feel pretty sad right here. This is rough.
Yeah.
Oh right, because this is one of the cards that wanted for your card that's no longer the okay, that's fair. Daphne asking for or offering a Shaggy Snack, which is a wild ass pot pie thing, as the description reads. All of your other mystery characters get 500 power. She has a soul trigger, and when your other character with Shaggy in its name is put in your running room stage, if she's in your backstage, you sack her to put him back on board rested.
It's
Card
got a
blows.
soul trigger.
It's got a soul trigger.
It's about the only thing interesting about it is it has a soul trigger.
This card blows. It could have 2 soul triggers, and I wouldn't care.
If
This
that,
is a card I wanted to put in to give more. I mean, like, this kind of reads like a card you would put in a set like this, right? There is no JC for Mystery Inc. characters. There's just this to help specifically Shaggy's. I guess you might play this with the 1-0 Shaggy combo to recur it, but like,
I might play
nah,
this with the bar.
just don't.
I might play this with the bar.
What the fuck is this card?
Now the companion
Dude.
piece.
Oh my god.
You want to read this one,
This
Gadget?
is like...
Yeah, all your Mystery Inc. characters in front of this card get 500, and then you can pay 1 sack it. When your other character with Scooby and its card name is for an attack, you can bounce it back to hand. So
Wait,
this is
what
a
the
JC, but it only works with... Yeah, it's way over spec. This is a JC, but it only works with Scooby characters. This should probably be 3,500, I think.
Yeah,
Or maybe 3K.
3,500 sounds right. It's not that far off spec. Like, it's not like when I
Yeah,
hear way over spec,
'cause the
my
soul
brain
triggers-
goes like 2K. But yeah, it's
The
like
Soul Trigger is 1 cost, which costs 1. It's 1K, and then I think JC for specifically named characters is like probably 500.
yeah, cause it's the same as
Yeah.
straight. So
And the assist is 500.
God, what do I even rate this sack of shit?
F. Just give it the F.
Okay. It's like, why? Why is it an assist despite, like, you wanting to probably attack with it?
You know what's crazy is there's actually some Fred and Daphne cards that you would want to recur at level 0, but there's no Scooby and Shaggy cards that you would want to recur at level 0.
oh my
So,
god.
It's just blatantly a card that's here for like maybe in the future there'll be more Scooby cards that this can work with, but right now it's just kind of like, it's a 1-0 with a soul trigger. You know what this card is? It's a landmine. It's gonna be here for when I make like a pup named Scooby Doo, and I end up having this like weird ass red herring deck off choice, and suddenly this card becomes a premium because it has a soul trigger, and I forgot about it because I printed it common. You know what I mean? Like, so this is just gonna sit there. 4 years from now, we're gonna come back to review that set, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, this card's broken." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Yeah, remember this stupid card you printed into common with has a soul trigger?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Yeah." So you can recur your Scoobies and it has a soul trigger, and you can search up red herring. He's like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like, the potential implications of these shitters having soul triggers. You know, it might actually matter. I don't know. Probably not, but whatever.
All right,
Oh,
you've written yourself into your own grave. This card needs to be relevant within the next two premium boosters. All right,
we'll see. We'll see.
last character.
All right, this is Daphne taking the back way out. She gains 1,000 for each mystery and character on your backstage, and she has hand on core. This is one of two standby targets in this set. Spoiler: this is you end up playing this maybe as a one of, but this set ends up being like playing a lot like Mushoku Tensei, where your 2/2 standby isn't a card with hand on core. Your 2/2 standby ends up being a different card that does something really good. So this ends up just being a card that you play it if you need the hand on core, but otherwise, blank is 100% right. It's just kind of garbage.
Dude, this card was terrible in No Game No Life. You know, it was on Jabril and it didn't sit big enough. And now it's like we're like 6 years into the future and it's still not big enough and still not good.
It's also 500 over spec because level 2s need traded hand on core to be 500.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sure,
No,
whatever.
There may be cards that are like old or whatever, like in various places where that rule isn't upheld, but it is a rule that is current principle.
No, I think you're wrong. So how much is
Your
oh
power,
no, hold on, this math is
your power
bad.
condition is 1k. If I'm right, the encore is currently 1k.
How much power is 1k for every other character is worth 2,000 power, right?
Backstage only is worth equal to whatever power.
No,
it
but
gets.
I'm saying 1k for every other character.
Yeah, that would be 2k.
That's 2k? Okay, so then yeah, you're right. This is off spec then. 'Cause I thought I took this out off the Eris combo and then just reworked it, but that power is wrong. The Eris combo is 6k base plus 1,000 for every other, and it has character encore. It doesn't have traded character encore.
Yep.
So this is even worse than that.
Yeah, Jabril's hand on core is also traded. Although this
It's
character condition is different than what I thought it was. But it's still only 95, so it still sucks. Despite having a cutie on it. We love Jabril.
All right, last card. If you have a mystery ink character, this card can be played without fulfilling color requirement. Choose the two characters in your waiting room, return them to your hand. This is incidentally a card that has every member of the gang on it, so if you need it in waifu, you can play it in anything.
I think you should do the change text box for this.
Oh, like
Is
what?
Put in a different
Like,
position.
yeah, put it in a different position because Daphne is like getting DDoSed here.
I know.
Getting goobed.
What's this
In a
from?
perfect world, I would like change these so they look like the Spy Family cards, so that there's like wallpaper behind the ones, but they're not squeezed and stretched. You know.
What is
What,
the
what do I
what,
rate this?
what-
I think this is also still this.
what is
I
this
don't think I'd ever
profile?
play this either. There's a decent number of these actually.
Okay.
Because the two ones are like salvage 2 and then you discard a card. So you only filtered. But for the event 2/2s, it's like you pay 2 stock so you get the plus off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Adventure Time.
interestingly, in Leica Reco, they printed a way if you hit a top check, you actually get to refund a stock on the 2/2 event. So you can actually turn it into a pay 1 +1 if you hit the top check.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
Adventure Time has this in their trial deck. It's a 2/2 event, just salvage 2 characters. The trade-off of this one being that you have to have the character on board, but if you do, you can just get the color requirement removed. It's just a little tweak this has, but everything else on it is exactly the same as other sets that have had this.
Coolio. Satisfied. And speaking of satisfaction, that's the end of red. We will be back with blue shortly.